If God said to you, ask me for anything you want and I'll give it to you, what would you ask for? Solomon asked for wisdom. And for a while it looked like he had it all figured out. Welcome to day 5 of week 3 of the Bible reading plan you'll actually finish, brought to you by Five Oaks Church, and Bible Story Guides. I'm Henry. We're still in the king's scene of Act 1. Yesterday we met David, the shepherd, who became king, the sinner who repented, the songwriter whose psalms shaped Israel's worship and continue to shape the worship of God's people. Today we meet his son Solomon. His mother is Bathsheba. After David dies, Solomon becomes king. Early in his reign, God appears to Solomon in a dream and makes an extraordinary offer. Ask for anything you want, and I'll give it to you. I'll read from 1 Kings chapter 3. Now, O Lord my God, you have made me king instead of my father David, but I am like a little child who doesn't know his way around. And here I am in the midst of your chosen people, a nation so great and numerous that it cannot be counted. Give me an understanding heart so I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern this great people of yours? The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for wisdom. So God replied, because you have asked for wisdom in governing my people with justice and have not asked for a long life or wealth or the death of your enemies, I will give you what you asked for. I will give you a wise and understanding heart, such as no one else has had or ever will have. And I will also give you what you did not ask for, riches and fame. No other king in all the world will be compared to you for the rest of your life. And if you follow me and obey my decrees and my commands, as your father David did, I will give you a long life. Solomon becomes renowned for his wisdom, his wealth, and his power. Israel prospers. Their territory expands to the borders that God had promised centuries earlier. And Solomon builds a permanent temple in Jerusalem. It replaces the portable tabernacle that Israel took from one place to another. The temple symbolizes God's presence among his people. And the temple becomes the center of Israel's worship. Foreign leaders traveled from distant lands just to hear Solomon's wisdom and to see the glory of what he had built. The Queen of Sheba visited and said, I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes. I hadn't heard the half of it. It's easy to imagine how people thought Solomon was the promised son of David, the one who would live forever, the one whose kingdom would last into eternity. But Solomon wasn't the one. Tragically, Solomon's life ends badly. I'll read from 1 Kings chapter 11 so we can see what happens with Solomon. Now King Solomon loved many foreign women. Besides Pharaoh's daughter, he married women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and from among the Hittites. The Lord had clearly instructed the people of Israel, you must not marry them because they will turn your hearts to their gods. Yet Solomon insisted on loving them anyway. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines. And in fact, they did turn his heart away from the Lord. In Solomon's old age, they turned his heart to worship other gods instead of being completely faithful to the Lord his God, as his father David had been. The Lord was very angry with Solomon, for his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. He had warned Solomon specifically about worshiping other gods, but Solomon did not listen to the Lord's command. So now the Lord said to him, since you have not kept my covenant and have disobeyed my decrees, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your servants. But for the sake of your father David, I will not do this while you are still alive. I will take the kingdom away from your son, and even so, I will not take away the entire kingdom. I will let him be king of one tribe for the sake of my servant David and for the sake of Jerusalem, my chosen city. Solomon had everything: wisdom, wealth, power, and peace. And he threw it all away. His heart was turned over to other gods. After his death, the kingdom split in two. The northern kingdom was called Israel, and the southern kingdom was called Judah, and that's where Jerusalem was located. Centuries of division, war, decline, and eventually exile followed. Solomon's story invites us to learn from both his successes and his failures. Every day we face the same choice Adam and Eve faced in the garden. Will we trust God and his wisdom, or will we decide for ourselves what's best? Here's your takeaway for today. Wisdom isn't just about making smart decisions. It's about staying faithful to God over the long haul, especially when life is going well. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on week 4.